couple months ago, I flew all the way to Thailand to meet Luke Belmar and attend my first Capital Club event. And today I'm going to break down exactly what it was like meeting Luke Belmar, going to the event, what I learned, how much it costs, and most importantly, giving you guys a behind the scenes feel of what it's actually like to go to this event. Over on my Instagram, I asked you guys what questions you want to know about Capital Club, and I'll be answering those at the end of this video. Also, if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, make sure you go watch that here and come back to this one. And with that being said, let's dive right into it. So Capital Club, for those who don't know, it is essentially an entrepreneurial network of people that have super like-minded perspectives when it comes to things like spirituality, health, finances, abundance in general, and overall just have a similar goal of wanting to be wealthy and have an amazing lifestyle in their youth. The event that I went to was in Phuket, Thailand. It was from December 12th to December 16th, and overall it cost $15,000. Now that might be a huge price to some of you, but I'll break down exactly why it was extremely worth it and get into a ton of details of what we did and why I feel like it paid for itself. This event was 4 days and it was extremely well organized, well thought out, and I was impressed through every second of the event. There was probably around 40 people that went. Everyone was very high level when it comes to the value, experience, and information that they have. And everyone was pretty young. I'd say the average age was from 20 to 30, most people being around 23, 25. I'm 25 years old, so it was basically just a bunch of peers. And one of the first things I want to say is sadly, there was a shit ton of footage that was lost. I think it got overwritten on an SD card or something, but we had drone shots of me flipping over Luke Belmar off the top of the yacht. They had a whole camera crew that was taking videos of us the whole time, and apparently we don't have access to those. So when I share clips, it's just going to be phone clips on the side, which kind of sucks, but I want to do my best to illustrate the 4-day experience. So let's quickly jump into day 1. I flew in on December 5th and spent some days with my girlfriend there. Stayed there for a little bit at some cool villas. Then we went to a specific hotel on December 12th to be picked up by our driver. As I was waiting in the lobby, I could see there were some other people that were clearly going to Capital Club as well. We sat and talked for a little bit until the driver showed up, and then he took us directly to the event, which was a huge villa directly on the beach. There was a huge tent set up in the front for like the speaking events, and I was instantly mind blown at the level of quality and just how thoughtful every little detail was. The villa had huge glass windows, and on all of them was Capital Club logos. There was a ton of workers there. Right when we got out of the car, they gave us our little VIP lanyards, if that's even what this is called, with our name on them. And quickly, Luke and Nate came out to greet us. Now, meeting Luke was really crazy because 2 months before attending this event, I saw him speak on Jordan Welch's Roundtable Talk, and instantly when I saw him speak, I was very drawn to him and felt that he had extremely similar perspectives and viewpoints to me, and something in my head when I saw him speak said, you need to meet this guy. You're going to meet this guy. I just had that feeling. And within 2 months of seeing that video, I was in Thailand meeting him, so it was a very surreal moment. Him and Nate were extremely warm and welcoming. Luke mentioned that he'd seen my content, which was super exciting because we DM'd and talked about doing a podcast together. The event was really busy. Time was kind of all over the place, and sadly, we just didn't get to it. But hopefully that's coming in the future. I have a huge Notion that's listed out with like 50 different questions for Luke, so hopefully we can do that in the future. But we pulled up to the villa. Buses kept coming in with new people, and for the next couple hours, we all just had really fun conversations. They had fruit everywhere, coffee, coconuts. We had a quick lunch, had some cigars. Everyone got to know each other. Then we went into the first speaking event where Luke talked about having crystal clear intentions. Then we broke out by ourselves. They gave us these Capital Club journals, and we kind of wrote down our intentions for the event, what we wanted to get out of it, and kind of set that clarity. Then we all got back together, and some speakers came up and talked about their business models, what they do, how they're doing marketing, how they're building teams, and it was really cool to see the breakdown of different people's structures and how they conduct business. Overall, with the people that went, there was a ton of e-commerce and dropshipping guys, ton of crypto guys, ton of people running agencies, a couple people that are in SaaS, and a couple people that just do really cool, unique businesses. After that first speaker, we broke into groups of 3 and really dove into like everyone's name, what they do, and a big theme about Capital Club, which I really loved so much, is the focus is what can I give to people, not what can I take from everyone. So usual networking events, everyone's trying to just take as much information as they can, grab everyone's phone number and just kind of leech off everyone. In this event, the main focus was what can I give to people, and really building like actual friendships and coming together as a team of how can we better everyone. So the energy here was just completely different to what you'd expect at a traditional like entrepreneur networking event. So in that group, we broke down what we do, our names, all that stuff, and really got kind of integrated at a close level to understand, hey, if I need help, this is the person I can go to, and what value do I bring? So we kind of all got up and said what value we can bring to each other, which was definitely intimidating. This is the first network event I've ever gone to, and I'm like in front of Luke speaking about what value I can bring to Capital Club, talking to all these guys that clearly make a lot of money, but it was really cool. The energy there was extremely friendly. Everyone was so warm and excited, and we're in Thailand, so everyone's just having fun. After that little mini group group event was done, we went over to our villas and kind of unpacked. Now, we all got our own private villas. There was around 3 people in each villa, but these villas were unbelievable. Each villa was 3 stories. The bottom level had 2 rooms. I had 1 roommate with me, and him had like mirrored rooms, which were huge, by the way, with our own walk-in showers, huge closets. Like it was extremely nice. Then the next floor is a very open layout kitchen with a pool, and then the top floor is a master bedroom floor. The whole thing, that was extremely nice, and Nate was actually in my villa, so he was staying up there with us. After we unpacked, kind of showered, we all went back to the main villa and had dinner there. Everyone had a couple drinks, just got really familiar with each other. There was constantly cigars everywhere that we could grab. The food was absolutely amazing. Something that really blew my mind is everyone is extremely health conscious there. Everyone is on very strict diets, is very aware of seed oils and all of the poison that is in our Western diets. And it was really cool to learn all of that, especially from Nate. He's very into biohacking and all of that stuff. And once we finished up with that dinner, we headed home and woke up early for a morning workout with Nate. Nate walked us through so much stuff with flexibility, stretching, and we did all of the workouts on bands, not with weights. And he really coached us through absolutely everything on this like guided workout right next to the beach in the huge villa. It was absolutely amazing. I really bonded with Nate. He's an extremely cool guy, very knowledgeable when it comes to fitness, and big focus of the event was like fitness and health. And I really did like that they put a big focus on that, because truly the end goal is not just wealth, it's longevity. It's abundance in all aspects of life, not just financially. And if you're a billionaire that has horrible health, then you're not going to be really enjoying it too much. So I really liked that that was a top focus. After the workout, we went back to our villas where we had our own breakfasts. Then we all got ready, headed back to the main villa, and today was really focused on the speaking in the huge tent in front of the villa. I really liked day 2 because they went extremely in depth to building teams and how to gamify your teams, where you're building incentives for people and truly enjoy working for you. Overall, this was a really big theme of like the big value from going to the event was learning how to build teams, learning how to structure them, how to manage them, and essentially building a team is basically everything. Like the levels of success you're able to reach are dependent on your ability to build amazing teams. Next, Steve Tan did a talk talking about TikTok and e-commerce. He's a co-founder of Capital Club with Luke. His talk was extremely valuable. Someone also came up and did a talk on credit cards and how to utilize points and travel the world for free. Then we broke off, relaxed for a little bit, and got ready for dinner. Dinner on day 2 was extremely good, and it was really fun getting closer with everyone, sharing drinks and cigars. After dinner, everyone went inside and we played some drinking games. They had probably 50 bottles of Johnny Walker Blue Label, and things got a little crazy. I think I'm just gonna leave it there for that one. So day 2 was really valuable with some high-level people that run teams of over 150 people, and they broke down exactly how they run those. On the next day, day 3, we woke up and did another morning workout with Nate. After that, we went back to the villa, had our little breakfast, and got ready for another full day of speakers. And this day was extremely valuable for e-commerce. There was a guy there that's doing multiple 7 figures throughout multiple different e-commerce stores, and he talked about the importance of creatives, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, and really gave us an inside scoop on what he's doing. And ultimately, what's so amazing is once this speaker's done, you go out and have lunch with them. So you're just sitting at the table next to him and you can ask them any questions the whole time. You can exchange phone numbers and really build connections with these people, and that's why this was so worth it. $15,000 is very worth it when it comes to just the experience of the event and having fun. But when you calculate the potentially infinite value from all these new connections, it's really easy to see why $15,000 is a fair price tag for something at this level. And the next speaker was someone who used to work at Facebook ads. He's managed $1 million day in ad spend, and he was responsible for scaling most of Australia's large e-commerce brands. This guy was an absolute unit and shared some insane Facebook info with us. Then the next speaker came who was literally a billionaire. This guy's name is Pratik. He's the co-founder of Fire, and this guy was truly something else. He came in just in sweats, just very chill, calm, relaxed guy, but the way he spoke, the way he moved, you could just tell he was at an extremely high level. After he spoke, we had a fireside where him and Luke just talked for like an hour or two, and it was extremely genuine, extremely candid. He was just opening up and talking about everything. His life experience, he talked a ton about spirituality, health, how he made his money, shared his story with us, and this guy was just something else. This was obviously my first time meeting a billionaire, so I was extremely interested in what type of viewpoints and perspectives he has, and he was very open in sharing them. This guy was just next level cool. So as you can imagine, once they were done with the fireside, everyone was kind of swarming him with a million different questions, and he was super kind to sit down and really answer all of them for us. After that, we had another amazing dinner, and they told us to head down to the beach, which is literally 2 feet from our villa, to get ready for the entertainment, where they had the top fire dancers in Thailand do a private show for us with the Capital Club logo like burning in the back. It was absolutely insane. They truly planned out and thought of everything with this event. Every little detail was organized, and the fire show was completely crazy. After this, everyone just kind of sat down, shared some drinks, had some fun conversations, and then we all went to bed to get ready for the next day. The next day is day 4, the last day, and it was a yacht day. We all got ready, came to the main villa, had a quick little speaking session, and then we took an hour bus ride down to the southern end of Phuket, where we went on a huge yacht and basically island hopped for the rest of the day. Our first stop was at these like cliffside caves where we pulled up and there was like 100 people on canoes ready to give us a private tour of the caves, which was completely insane. Then I did a flip over Luke off the top of the boat, and what sucks is we had a drone behind me getting the shot. We had 2 cameramen following me, and it would have been the coolest clips ever, but we sadly lost those, so all I really have is my phone videos. There was so much crazy content. They had a full camera crew filming the whole event. That's why I really didn't film too much on my phone, is because I thought I'd just be able to use those clips, but sadly they were lost. But yeah, the yacht day was crazy. After we went to the caves, we went to James Bond Island and chilled on the boat for a couple hours before we had an insane dinner. It was a 5-course meal with Wagyu steak, Dom Perignon, crazy desserts. Everyone was having a really good time there. That was super fun. Then we went back to the main villa and did a white elephant gift exchange, which was really fun because we had to buy $200 to $500 gifts. And if you don't know how white elephant works, it's basically there's a bunch of wrapped gifts. Nobody can see what they are. And you get a number, and when your number's called, you can go up and pick a gift, or you can steal someone else's gift. So everyone's trying to steal the cool gifts, and everyone was just fucking around. It was super fun. After that, we basically all went back to our villas. It was super late at night, and came back the next morning to basically say our goodbyes, as this was like day 5 now and the event was over. It was honestly really sad saying goodbye to everyone, because you did kind of build a close relationship over the 4 days, especially because everyone's very like-minded. Everyone has the same focuses, the same perspectives, so the friendships were really cool to create. I ended up staying at the same hotel as Luke and Nate, so we took a bus together and I was able to kind of sit and talk with them in a more relaxed fashion as the event was over. But that pretty much wraps up the event. Now I want to go over some of the questions you guys had on Instagram. First question is from Alex. He said, what is Capital Club and what's its visions for the future? So obviously I can't really speak on the visions for the future, as that's up to Luke Belmar and Steve Tan and where they want to take things. But as to like what Capital Club is, it really just feels like a team of friends that have very similar viewpoints and perspectives when it comes to health, abundance, lifestyle, spirituality. The focus is very much so on what can I give and on abundance, and not just leeching and taking value and information from others. So it really is different from everything else out there. We got Nick asking what my biggest takeaway was. There was a couple big things. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly like the top things that I learned or my favorite things, because there truly was so much. And there's something to be said about just being in the room with these people and seeing the questions they ask, seeing how they operate, the things they talk about. Just that alone naturally levels you up, because you get to see the way they think, the way they talk, the way they carry themselves. And that naturally teaches you, because humans are basically made to mirror each other, to learn from each other. And when you're in a room with people like that, there really is so much information that you just kind of subconsciously and naturally soak up. But some of the big things that I learned was the importance of teams, how to build them, how to scale them, how to hire, how to fire, and the importance behind having self-sufficient ecosystems that make money on your behalf without your inputs. You need to be working on your businesses, not in them. And that's a basic thing a lot of people talk about, but I learned that at a new depth, a new level. And I saw that all of the really big hitters that were there just have bigger teams. They solve bigger problems. They think bigger. They act bigger. It's not necessarily that they're smarter, they have more experience, or they're older. It really comes down to who thinks the best, who builds the best team. It's that simple. The next thing I learned is there's physical levels to reality. Unless you level your character up, if we think about this like a video game, there's certain rooms you can't get into. There's certain conversations you can't have. There's certain people you'll never meet. There's certain places you'll never go unless you have the money, unless you have the character level, unless you have the experience and know-how, and really have a reason to be in those rooms, a reason to meet those people, a reason to experience those things. And there's so many people that just unconsciously go through life and they'll never be able to go on trips like this. They'll never be able to meet people like this, to learn from people like this, to have this network connection with high-level individuals. And ultimately, I'm on level 1 out here. There are billionaires out here that are probably going to unbelievable networking events that nobody's invited to, that nobody's talking to. And the only way you can get there is if you're worthy to be in that room. So a lot of people say there's levels to this shit. A lot of people talk about that stuff and it seems very cliche and cringy, but there really is a physical aspect to it. There's certain places you will never be able to go, things that you'll never be able to experience unless you've leveled up your character, unless you are worthy of being there. Truly, from going to this event, I think I realized on a deeper level how much of a game our reality is, how much of a game our human experience is, and how much influence we truly have over it when we take conscious actions and think at higher levels. Next question is from Isaac. He asked, what are the requirements to join? So Capital Club seems to be a closed group. I think there's going to be openings for new people, but I think that's going to be getting smaller and smaller and more slim in the near future. And everything I'm saying is basically off speculation. I don't really know it. The way I was able to get in is Luke was making story posts talking about the Phuket meetup. I messaged him saying I would like to attend, and I think the reason I was able to is because he saw my content, he saw the type of person I was, and saw that that resonates with the group, and that's the reason I was able to pay and come. I don't think that just anyone can get in, but I could be completely wrong. Obviously, this is an event where the individuals are trying to give value to the club, if that makes sense. So if there's someone that isn't seen to have a huge amount of value, I would assume it would be harder for them to get in. I don't think it's basically just off whoever can afford to come to the event can come. But again, all speculation. I'm not really sure with how they're going to move things forward. But I basically was just staying tuned on Luke's posts on his story. I saw that there was opening for the event. I reached out to him and it worked out. So if you're looking to go to Capital Club in the future, I think your best bet is just following Luke's stories, reaching out if he's talking about an event opening, and trying to go from there. If I get more information, I'll keep you guys posted. Next question, is it a yearly subscription or you just pay for each event? So for me, I've only been to one and I just paid the $15,000 to go to that one event. I don't think they're ever going to do yearly subscriptions or anything. And it seems like they do 2 major events each year. So from my understanding, you just pay for the event you go to, and that's pretty much it. When you go to one event, you obviously have open access to the other events over other people, like new members coming in. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they do 2 major ones each year. There's obviously little side things they do where some different people are invited. Like they all just went to Switzerland recently. He just did a meetup in Dubai, like just barely. So there's a ton of little random ones, but the Capital Club events themselves, I think there's 2 each year and they're always in basically some random place in the world. Next question, would you go to Capital Club again? This is pretty much an obvious yes. Capital Club really kind of has a special place in my heart, like instantly from going there, just seeing the energy, the perspectives that everyone has and how it's so focused on abundance. I really just don't think you're going to find that anywhere else. And truthfully, every event that I'm able to come to, I'm going to be going to in the future. So hopefully if some of you are coming to the other ones, I will be able to meet you guys there. That pretty much wraps up all the questions. If you guys made it to the end of this video, please leave a comment below asking any question you have. I will happily answer all of them. And if you haven't, make sure you go watch the part 1 of this video. And with that being said, I will see you in future videos. Peace.